Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming. I'm your host Richard, and today we are here with our first video of this type on the channel. It's going to be the how-to videos or how to find things, blah blah blah, that kind of nonsense. But today I figured I would start with probably the thing I do most in Pokemon games, and that is how to breed competitive Pokemon. This will kind of be a two-part series. This video will look at how to breed competitive Pokemon, whereas the next video will be how to EV train those Pokemon and get them ready for battling. So in this video, things you will need to do breeding for competitive Pokemon are a Destiny Knot, an Everstone, breeding compatible Pokemon, and some optional things to have are the Hatching O Power, level 3 preferably, a Flame Body Pokemon such as Talonflame or Magmortar, Talonflame being the preferred one of the two, or all of the Flame Body Pokemon, or Volcarona. Talonflame and Volcarona more so because they have Fly, so you can use them as your Fly slave, and you can get places you need to go while you're breeding and still hatching these Pokemon. And access to the internet is always nice because you'll be able to look up things. You don't need it if you know what you're looking for, but if you do need that reference, the internet is always your friend. Google. I'll also have some links in the description, and I will list them as I go along and reference them in the video. And another thing, optional thing you'll need is patience. Breeding competitive Pokemon isn't something you can just do in one try. It takes a few tries and a little bit of luck, so patience is optional. I would say you do need it though. So with that, let's jump into the video here. Alright guys, so the first step to breeding your own competitive Pokemon is of course choosing what kind of Pokemon you want to breed. In this video I'm going to be breeding a Trico, or to be a Sceptile. Mega Sceptile is specifically what I'm going for. Since I do have some Sceptiles already, I want one for a Mega Sceptile. So after you figured out which Pokemon you want to breed, you want to kind of research that Pokemon and figure out where you want to take it competitively, what kind of moves you want on it, what kind of EV spread, nature, ability, IVs, all that stuff, and we'll go over that right now. So for Mega Sceptile, typically you want to run a speedier Sceptile, can hit hard, that kind of stuff. So one website, or I have two websites that I've got a couple websites I would suggest while you're doing this research. One of them is Smogon.com. You guys have probably heard of Smogon. They are one of the bigger names when it comes to singles competitive battling. They have a lot of suggestions for the most used or better sets for Pokemon, and they're really nice, especially for people just starting out to kind of get into the game. I'm not saying Smogon is everything. You can only go by Smogon. I'm not saying that at all. Smogon is just a good guideline to go by, especially when you're just starting out to kind of figure out what you want to do with your Pokemon. So, as you'll see on the screen right now, I have the Sceptile and Mega Sceptile suggestions. They have these things up at the top for you can go to Ruby, Sapphire, that kind of stuff. But we're going to focus on X and Y because that's what we are breeding in. So, if we go down a little bit here, the suggestions, they have suggestions for doubles, Mega Sceptile, and a singles. I am breeding for a singles Mega Sceptile, so we're going to just look at this. And this is their suggested set. They suggest having Giga Drain or Leaf Storm, Dragon Pulse, Focus Blast, and then Hidden Power Fire or Substitute. And I believe I'll go for this set here, though I will not be breeding for Hidden Power today. That's for another video another time. Hidden Power breeding is really tricky, and it's not something you want to start out with, but we are doing Sceptile today, so for all intensive purposes, I am breeding for Substitute. I'll do Hidden Power Fire stuff later, and typically I don't even breed for that stuff because it's really annoying, but that's, again, another video another time. And of course, you need the Sceptile lights, so items you don't really have to worry about with breeding. Nature is timid. So for those of you who don't know what nature is, I'll kind of show you where to look at those things. But timid nature is a positive speed minus attack, and again we'll go into that a little bit further. And then the EV spread, they suggest 252 special attack, 252 speed, 4 special defense. Again, that will be in the next video we do. We'll look over EV stuff, but it's just good to keep in mind. If when you're starting to do a little more exploring for yourself, I suggest going to Pokemon Showdown, which of course link in the description below. Pokemon Showdown, what it is, you've probably seen a few videos of it from my channel. I'm not doing it as much anymore because I did just get a capture card. But what that entails is it's a Pokemon battle simulator, and it allows you to build your own Pokemon. So it really gives you more freedom to test out different EV spreads, IV spreads, attacks, abilities, natures, all that stuff before you actually settle it in stone with actually breeding a Pokemon in your game. So I suggest before actually doing the breeding, play on Pokemon Showdown for a while. Make sure that's what you actually want to use before you put in all the work with your Pokemon. So again, today I am just going to be using this set, just real easy. And actually they have the option to export on Pokemon Showdown, or on Smogon to Showdown. So essentially you just hit export, it brings it up in like a Word document or whatever. Then you just copy and paste it to Showdown, and the Pokemon's already ready there to go. You don't have to type it all out. But this is what we're going to be doing. So the next thing I would suggest going to after you've picked out all your stuff is Cerebi.net, which again, link in the description. This is their homepage. I wanted to show this first, especially the sidebar right here, the top sidebar. They have a lot of news and all that kind of stuff, but they also have in-depth descriptions of all the Pokemon abilities and that kind of stuff. So you can look over here at abilities, and there's a nature thing over here as well, I believe. Attack decks, Pokegear abilities. I'm not seeing it right now, but I know it is on this website. You can look up natures, and you can always search in their search bar, or you can just go up to the top, search in nature Cerebi, and it'll bring up a whole list of all the natures and what they do. So again, we're going for timid nature, so we're not going to worry about that too much. But I also have Sceptile's page up here, and this is what I was talking about with in detail details. So they list the abilities. With a Mega Sceptile, you don't have to worry too much about the ability, just because you're typically Mega Evolving right away. You're not really worrying about it. Overgrow and Unburden are kind of both. It doesn't matter because you're not going to ever get Unburdened because you're holding a Mega Stone and you're never getting rid of your Mega Stone. And Overgrow, hopefully you aren't that low by the time before you Mega Evolve, because to get the Overgrow boost, because you usually want to be Mega before you're that low. So it really doesn't matter with Sceptile. Some Pokemon there is like Salamence, for example, or Mawile. You usually want to run Intimidate because you get that Intimidate, and then you can Mega Evolve and use the Mega ability. So you're taking advantage of both abilities. So looking into those with the Mega Evolutions is really good. And then, of course, when they're not Mega Evolving, abilities do matter a lot more. So that's where you find the abilities. You can look at all the super effective and resistant moves. Egg groups is also a big thing that we're going to be looking at. Sceptile is in the Monster and Dragon egg groups. So if you go over here and you click on them, this is all the Pokemon that Sceptile, Grovyle, and Trico. I believe all three of them. Yeah, I believe they're all three Monsters and Dragons. Sometimes it switches between evolutions, but for Sceptile and all of its other evolutions, this is what it can breed with. Of course, if you want a baby Trico, you're going to need a female Sceptile. The baby is just always the same species as the mother. So that's how that works out. And then we come down here and we look up at the level up moves. Leaf Storm, one of the moves that we want to use, is in his level up moves. It's actually at level 0 and at level 67. So we can get that. And we also need, if we flip back to Smogon, Dragon Pulse, Focus Blast, and Substitute. And actually there's the Aurus level moves as well, which we are doing this in Aurus right now. And they're essentially the same for Sceptile, I believe. I don't think he learns Dragon Pulse. No. Dragon Pulse, I believe, is TM. So these are all the TMs that Sapphire can learn. You can always look through the TMs. Focus Blast is a TM. We also have the choice of Energy Ball if we wanted to run that instead of Leaf Storm or a Giga Drain. We could also run a mixed Sceptile, but again, we're just going simple as we can right now, so just straight special attacking fast Sceptile. And then this is the big one you want to look at when you're breeding, is egg moves. Egg moves are moves that are passed down from the parent to the child. So if you're breeding, you want to get these in as soon as possible. And of course, they have the details over here. If you just click on details, it'll bring you to a page, and it'll show you all of the parents that will give the Pokemon these moves if they know it. So looking through here, Leaf Storm is an egg move, but of course he can learn it by level up. And it doesn't look like... I mean, Synthesis and Leech Seed are the only things that really stand out in the egg moves, but I don't really want my Sceptile to know those, just because Sceptile's so frail that it's not really worth running that on there. You can also look at move tutors. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire move tutors is where we're really going to want to look, because Dragon Pulse is in here, and also Giga Drain. So two of our moves are going to be move tutors, and then Substitute, and if you want to run Hidden Power, are both in TMs. Pre-evolution moves you also want to look at. This isn't part of breeding, this is more for when you're actually leveling up. See, we don't even need the move tutors. If we keep our Trico as a Trico until level 21, he'll learn Giga Drain on his own. So that's just kind of a thing to look at. Transfer moves, most of these are going to be move tutors, so I really don't look at them anymore. Of course, we can come down here and look at the stats for the Mega as well, because he gets Lightning Rod when he Mega Evolves, that kind of stuff. So now that we've done our research a little bit, and of course you guys are going to want to be looking at it a little bit more, especially when you're starting out. I've been doing this for quite a while, so I kind of know the ins and outs of a lot of the Pokemon I'm already breeding. So once we've done that, we're actually going to jump into the game here, and I will show you how to go about breeding these Pokemon. Alright guys, like I said, now that you have gotten the gist of what you want your Pokemon to do, you are able to start breeding. Now, what I use for my breeding center, there is 2 daycares in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I use the one at the Battle Resort, just because the Battle Resort's going to have a lot of stuff that you're going to be using while you're breeding. So it's just the easier place to go. So what you want to do is grab your Pokemon. Now for time purposes, I already have a 6 IV Ditto, which Ditto is going to be one that you're going to want to use the most, just because it can breed with everything. If you're not getting egg moves or trying to get natures off of other Pokemon, which I will explain how to get natures in a second. Ditto is going to be your breeder. So I've got my 6 IV Ditto, and I also have my Sceptile. My Sceptile is, I believe, 5 IV right now. Actually, the Sceptile I have already has Hidden Power, so it might not be 5 IVs. I haven't used the Sceptile forever, so I honestly don't know what Hidden Power it even has right now. It might be Fire, so it might be set with IVs, but that's not the point. We're breeding a new one right now. So what you want to do, if you're trying to figure out what IVs your Pokemon has, if you go to the Pokemon Center in the Battle Resort, again, this is why I breed here, because this is one of the things that you're going to need when you're checking. There is the man up in the top corner there, the Ace Trainer. If you talk to him, he will check the potential of your Pokemon. Now, you may have heard people say, like I've already been saying, 5 IV Pokemon, 6 IV Pokemon. Essentially, when they say that, they mean there is, for 5 IV Pokemon, there's 5 perfect IVs. Or 6 IV Pokemon, there's 6 perfect IVs. The most IVs there are 6. There's one for each stat: HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. Now, each of those stats has a different amount of IVs in them. Perfect IVs are considered to be 31, which is the highest you can get. Typically, IVs are going to be at 31, 30, or 0. 0 is going to be used for kind of like Pokemon you want to move slower, that kind of stuff for the speed stat. Again, we're just doing the bare minimum right now, so we're trying to go for the 31, which is perfect. Now, the way to check this is when you go and talk to the guy, he'll check your Pokemon, and there's a variety of different things he can say. I'm actually gonna pull up the list for myself. All right, I got it here. This is actually using bulbapedia.net, bulbapedia.bubblegarden.net. I'll have another link in the description below for Bulbapedia. This is another really good site to be looking at things for Pokemon related stuff. So essentially, when you talk to this guy, if he says that your Pokemon has outstanding potential, that means that the IV total is really high. But what you really want to look for is he will list all of the the best IVs. So for my Ditto here, it says HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. And then at the end, this is what you really want to look for. It says stats like those, they simply can't be beat. That's how I judge it. So with the part that says can't be beat is the thing that you want to look at when you're looking for 31 IVs, which is the most you can have, of course. When he says can't be beat, that means all of the stats that he has listed have 31 IVs in them. So that's what we have for our Ditto, and that's what we're going to be looking for with our Tricos. Of course, you don't always need all 6 IVs. Because our Trico is only going to be a special attacker, we only need to have the can't be beats or 31 IV stats in HP, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. Now, some people won't bother going for all of those. Some of them will just get special attack and speed because that's all he's using. I like to go for as many as he can use, just because it helps in situations where sometimes if he didn't have those IVs, he'd get knocked out, or he'd get outsped, or he wouldn't hit hard enough. Just that kind of stuff. So what you want to do next, go to the Daycare. You don't want to give the Daycare your Pokemon yet. This is where the items come in handy. Now, I told you at the beginning of this, we're going to need a Destiny Knot and an Everstone. What these items do, Destiny Knot, you want to give... let's start with Everstone. Everstone is going to be the item that makes it so whichever Pokemon is holding the Everstone that is breeding will pass on its nature. So that's really that's how you get natures passed on. So I'm going to give the Everstone to my Sceptile because my Sceptile already has a timid nature, and that's the nature we want on our Pokemon. So I'll give the Everstone to Sceptile, and the Destiny Knot actually doesn't matter as much who it goes on because it does work with both parents. The Destiny Knot, I believe, I'm going to fact check myself here before I tell you guys any lies. Of course, I'm going to be looking at either Cerebi or Bulbapedia, whichever comes up first. Cerebi. The Destiny Knot, I don't have my Pokemon. Is in battle, it's Infatuation. Alright, so what Destiny Knot does now is you will give it to one of the two parents, and it has the capability of passing down a total of 5 IVs from either parent to the Pokemon. So that can be a mix of the two of them. It can be just one of them. And then the last IV is just kind of random. So giving this to the Pokemon really helps. It doesn't always necessarily guarantee that you're going to be getting perfect IVs. And in fact, you don't need perfect IV Pokemon to breed other perfect IV Pokemon. You can just keep breeding until you get you get lucky and your new Pokemon has the perfect IVs, which is essentially how I started. I had a lot of the lower IV Pokemon, just kept breeding them until I got perfect IV ones, and here I am today, telling you how to do it, hopefully correctly. So I'm going to give the Destiny out to Ditto. Just in this case, I could have given the item to either one because my Ditto is timid as well. I just gave it to Sceptile because that's how I usually do it. The one that's not Ditto usually has the nature. I do have a bunch of different Dittos, so I can get different natures. But in this case, that didn't matter. So now we can leave the Pokemon with the Daycare girl in this case. Usually it's a lady, but for some reason in the Battle Resort, they are kids. So we want to give both Ditto and Sceptile to them. Doesn't matter which order you give them to. Excuse me. give them to. I had a hiccup there. And now, all we have to do is wait for this little boy to turn around, and he will give you an egg. So what you want to do, I'm going to show you guys the infinite route now. So what I usually use my bike, and of course it's easier. Here we go. You want to get right in front of the Poke Center door, and you want to be kind of in the middle of the path there. And then hop on your bike, and if you go to your right past the daycare, you'll run into the rock outcropping next to the water. Now, once you hit that, you want to hit it right on that ledge. So, in fact, you could actually just drive right up to it. It's just easier to kind of point out where it's at if you start from Pokemon Center. Now, all you have to do is hold the up button. Now, if you don't want to sit here and hold the up button the entire time, I'd suggest monitoring it while you were trying to get eggs. But you can also do the old dime trick. Now, there used to be a dime trick with the Lumiose Tower back in Pokemon X and Y. And you can do the same thing here. Oh, I just messed it up. Probably not in your recording, but as I was talking, I did. With the dime trick, all you have to do is, instead of pushing the directional pad up, you can press the joystick up and put a dime underneath it. Now, you want to do it quick, just because if you do it, if you hold off, if you take your finger off at any point, it will stop you from moving. And of course, I don't suggest that right away. I suggest that after you've already gotten all your eggs, you can just use the directional pad until you get your eggs. But again, you can't let up at all, otherwise it's going to throw you off your path. So I will be back with you guys in just a second. I'm going to get a bunch of eggs, and I'll join you guys after we get our perfect Pokemon, and we'll be all set. And I also forgot to mention here, guys, with, of course, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is easier to help speed up the process if you have a flame body Pokemon, such as Talonflame, or Volcarona, Magmortar, those kind of guys. What you want to do with them is put them in the front of your party and then have the eggs immediately following them. The flame body ability helps to hatch the eggs faster, as well as if you want to use the egg hatching O-Power, that also helps. But, as you can see here, guys, we have our Trico all ready with all the perfect IVs. Just going to check with the guy here. He'll go through, tell us everything's good. And of course, we want to look for the can't be beat saying at the end here, which he will be saying. And that will be our Trico, guys. And whatever you guys bred, you are now the proud father and or mother of a competitive Pokemon. Now, again, next time, guys, we're going to be going over how to EV train these Pokemon so they are completely battle ready and getting all their moves set for them. And I will use this Trico as example, so we can just kind of complete the process with this Pokemon. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us for this battle, or for this video. Is the correct way to say that. But you guys have to let me know, did this video actually help you? I know some of you may be watching just to watch the video, and some of you may be watching to actually learn how to train or breed competitive Pokemon. Let me know if this video did help. If it did, let me know by hitting that like button and leaving a comment in the comment section below. If it didn't help, you can leave a dislike if you're really mad that it didn't help. Otherwise, let me know. Comment in the comment section what you were kind of confused on, or that it was confusing in general, and I'll try and help you guys. I do read all my comments because there's like 2 of them maybe on a video, but just let me know if what I could be doing better to kind of show you guys how to do this stuff, because I do want to keep making these how-to videos for you guys, but if they aren't actually helping, there's really not a point to them. So let me know what I could have done better. I know this topic is a little harder to go through, rather than, oh, the super rods over here, go pick it up. Those videos are easy. These ones they're a little more complicated and not always easy to grasp on the first try. I know when I watched a video on how to do it when I first started breeding in X and Y, I had to watch the video a couple times. So I'm not saying watch my video multiple times. You can if you want, but there are also a lot of other really good guides out there, a lot of other really good videos. So if this one didn't help you, be sure to check out the other ones. Don't give up right away, because honestly, this is my favorite thing to do in Pokemon, is to breed competitive Pokemon. I don't know what it is. I love it more than battling. I love battling, but I love breeding even more. I don't know what it is. That's why my battle sprite is the Pokemon breeder for Pokemon Omega Ruby Sapphire. But again, guys, let me know if this video helped or not, and if you want to see more of these how-to videos. And we will see you next time. Thank you guys so much. Bye.